Test Prep Pundits, a synonym for success, and a home to top 1% scores. Congratulations to Gutha Mandala for achieving SAT score 1570, Farah Khalil 1540, Kunal Varma 1510, and many more top 1% scores.
Join our 2 weeks of free SAT Premier Prep.
For high school grades 9 through 12, for middle school grades 7 through 8. Also win Visa gift cards. Contact us, info@testpreppundits.com, or call us 844-383-7844. Visit us, www.testpreppundits.com.
Darling, daring, andala rasi, malippuvu, lanti sukumari. Darling, darling, daring, andala rasi, malippuvu, lanti.
On her big day, she decides how it's going to be.
Get ready to make way for the brides of India.
With Malabar Golden Diamonds.
Are your kids aiming for top Ivy League colleges? Are your kids aiming for top 1% scores in SAT or ACT? What is the biggest hurdle? English. To have a strong foundation in English, Test Prep Pundits presents long-term SAT, ACT English program with robust curriculum and experienced teachers. For grades 6 through 10, just $80 a month. Contact us, info@testpreppundits.com, or call us, 844-383-7844.
తెలంగాణ అమెరికా తెలుగు సంఘం టీటీఏ ఆధ్వర్యంలో న్యూ జెర్సీలోని కన్వెన్షన్ అండ్ ఎక్స్పో సెంటర్లో మే 27, 28, 29, 2022 ఈ 3 రోజులు మెగా కన్వెన్షన్ నిర్వహించనున్నారు. ప్రముఖ వ్యాఖ్యాత సుమా కనకాలతో పాటు మరెందరో సినీ రాజకీయ ప్రముఖులు విచ్చేయనున్నారు. అంతేకాదు ప్రముఖ గాయని గాయకులతో ఎస్పీబీకి ఘన నివాళి, కప్రిసియో బ్యాండ్ మరియు వైవిధ్యభరితమైన ప్రత్యేక కార్యక్రమాలు ఆహుతులను అలరించనున్నాయి. ఆటలు పాటలతో సినీ తారలు, బుల్లితెర నటీనటులు, జానపద కళాకారులు అందరికీ ఇదే మా సాదర ఆహ్వానం. ఫర్ మోర్ డీటెయిల్స్ ప్లీజ్ విజిట్ www.tdaconvention.org.
ఆకర్షణీయమైన చీరలు, అప్పురపరిచే ధరలు, అందరికీ నచ్చిన, అందరూ మెచ్చిన షో మన లక్కీ మహిళ. బోలెడంత ఎక్సైట్మెంట్, వండర్ఫుల్ విన్నింగ్ మూమెంట్స్.
ఎగ్జాక్ట్ చెప్పారు, మీరే గెలుచుకున్నారండి. కంగ్రాచులేషన్స్, $220.
సెలబ్రిటీ గోస్ట్లు, అదిరిపోయే పంచులు, సరదా సరదా కబుర్లు.
ఆశ దోశ అప్పడం బడ హెల్ప్ మీరు ఆడుతున్నారు.
ఇలా మరెన్నో మెమరబుల్ మూమెంట్స్ తోటి ఫస్ట్ యానివర్సరీ జరుపుకుంటోంది మన లక్కీ మహిళ. Watch it live only on TV Asia Telugu.
To our talk show with experts, manato unnaru mana expert Rahul Reddy garu. Rahul garu, thank you so much for being on the show today.
Thanks for inviting me, garu.
Thanks, sir. This program has been brought to you by the Test Prep Pundits. Test Prep Pundits are offering 2 weeks of free SAT prep for high school and middle school students. Please visit their website for more details. It is the home of top 1% scores. The program has been supported by movers.com and Malabar Jewelers. Watch us on Yup TV, Facebook, YouTube, Sling TV, World BBTV and Dish Network. All right, starting today's show. Give me 1 second. Yes, getting back to the show today. Interesting topic, Rahul garu. What will happen to the 401k and Social Security if we leave the USA? Because I think amidst all the drama of, the whole immigration process itself, we tend to forget a ton of other, minuscule details that might go awry if not noted properly. So thank you for choosing that to be the topic for today. So Rahul, got to tell us a little more about it. What is it that we need to be careful about?
There are two things. We'll segregate both 401k and Social Security. Most of the people know about 401k, also called as IRA, Roth IRA and other things, where this is going into a private account. This private account is probably, if it's a 401k, it's been hosted by the company that you're working in. And when you move out of the company, you have a discretion of to move to any other brokerage account that you want to, or continue with the same employer. Now, when you leave the country, though, you will have access to the money. Absolutely, you will have access to the money. And then you can withdraw the money. You will be subject to the taxes. So, for example, if you have accumulated, let's say, $200,000 in 401k plan, and then you move to India, you can access it, you can withdraw the money, but you will be subject to the taxes and penalty. As you know about the rules of 401k and IRA, that you can withdraw it after 59 and a half, let's say 60, after 60 years, there is no penalty, but you will have to pay the taxes. Now, in case of Roth IRA, you don't have to pay taxes. Well, I'm not an expert in the accounting system, but I'm just telling you that as an immigrant, though, just because you leave the country, you will still have access just like any other U.S. citizen. No restriction, none whatsoever at all. You will have access, you can withdraw it, you will be subject to taxes, just like a U.S. citizen. Absolutely not a problem. Here is the thing about the Social Security. This is a more shocking thing where people don't understand. Nobody ever have written any article except me. Nobody has ever commented on it. Nobody ever described it in detail. Here is what will happen to the Social Security. Now, if you have contributed for less than 10 years, they call it as 40 quarters, but in Pakka Telugu Cheppalante, it's only 10 years only. Okay, I don't know why they call it as 40 quarters. It's 10 years. If you contributed to Social Security for 10 years, okay, if you've contributed for 10 years, you will be eligible for getting the Social Security.
So if you contribute 10 consecutive years, or can it be an
good question? Time? It doesn't have to be consecutive years. Okay. That's the reason why they divided into 40 quarters. So each of the quarters you can. If 1 year you have 2 quarters you contributed, 2 years you did not contribute, then it will count as only 2 quarters, not 1 year. So each quarter you have to contribute it. And if you contribute to 40 quarters, then you are eligible. It doesn't have to be continuous. Nobody has employment continuous except the H1B guys. They do. But yeah, it doesn't have to be consecutive. If you contribute to 10 years, you will be eligible for Social Security. And I'll describe how you will be eligible for it. If you're not a US citizen, you go back to India. But first thing is that if you do not contribute for the 40 quarters or 10 years, though, just like a US citizen, though, you still are not eligible for the Social Security. And if you do contribute as a U.S. citizen, if you contribute to the 40 quarters or 10 years, so you will be eligible. You will be eligible for the Social Security. Now, the question, $1 million question is, I am in India. How can I access this one? As you know, that Social Security will be given only when you turn 64, 65, 66. Depends on how the government, based on your age, it will be though. So for younger people, it's more age. For older people, it's less age. So somewhere between 64 and 67, you will be eligible for Social Security. When you are eligible for Social Security and when you contributed for 10 years, if you go to India, you can request the Social Security and they will give you the Social Security. Okay. There's only one article written on it. You can go to rnlawgroup.com about Social Security benefits, and you can go according to the direction you get. There are a lot of people who have gone, they have retired in India, and they saw this article, and then what, I was there for 15 years, now I can access Social Security? Absolutely you can. And you can get the money, you will get a monthly money from Social Security, you can deposit into the account. There are very less exceptions where people can't get the Social Security though. Those are only if you're living in North Korea. That's a country I know. Previously, it was Libya, Iraq, and North Korea. Now, I definitely know that Iraq has been lifted out. I don't know much about Libya, but I know that North Korea, if you live in North Korea and you want the Social Security, they won't give it to you. But India is definitely not on the list. You're in good shape. You contribute for 10 years, you will get in. So for people who are wanting to move out of this country, though, they need to look into very seriously. Let's say, for example, after 9 years, I want to move back to India. Guess what? Wait for 1 more year, contribute for 4 more quarters of Social Security, and you will be eligible for the entire. Otherwise, you will lose it if you don't contribute it. So you may want to consider contributing the whole 10 years. As you rightfully pointed out, Nitya Garu, it doesn't have to be continuous. It can be, but, if you're leaving at 45 and you're leaving, you don't have a non-immigrant visa to come back into the United States, how are you going to contribute the extra 4 quarters if you needed to at a later date? So it may be worth for you to stay for 1 more year, contribute for 10 years, and then go and get the Social Security when your age is ripened at that point of time.
Got it. Sir, and one more kind of, and correct me if it's kind of unrelated, but it's just a thought. I know a lot of people do try, of course, to get their parents as well at a future time. So when we are getting our, say aged parents over here, how would it impact their ability to get Social Security if they do get it at all?
If the aged parents come into United States and if they do not contribute to the Social Security for 10 years, they will not be eligible for the Social Security.
Okay.
However, Nitya Garu, what you need to learn is that there is something called disability, though.
Right.
So what happens is that if they turn 65, and they don't have to be physically disabled, though, okay? They don't have to be. If they turn 65 and they are U.S. citizens, if they don't have any income and assets, and they have very minimal income and assets, these people can get $750 per month.
Oh.
And if they are wife and husband, it's up. Now, please don't take my amounts very seriously.
Right,
it just varies by about $100 here and there, by not much though. Now, if they are a couple though, that will be approximately around $1,000 to $1,100 per month. The couple will get it. If it's just only one person, then they get approximately $700 plus they get a food coupons also. Now, it doesn't matter, Nitya Garu. You might be a millionaire.
Right.
You might be having a $500,000 income. But if your parent doesn't have an income, if your parent doesn't have an assets, they will be eligible for the Social Security disability though. Now, for that, even though they didn't contribute any money, they will be eligible for this.
Okay. It's good to know, Andy, because I know a lot of people keep wondering what's going to happen, to our elders when,
and the only thing is that they have to be U.S. citizens. They can't be green card holders.
Okay.
Now, when I described about the Social Security, though, Nitya Garu, there is nothing. You don't have to be a U.S. citizen. You don't have to be anything. Even if you're India, except in North Korea, everywhere else, you will get it, the Social Security. But disability insurance, disability, also Social Security disability, they must stay in United States, though.
So, sir, do they even need to be green card holders to get the Social Security thing?
There is 2 different things. For Social Security, you don't have to be a green card holder.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
For disability, though, you have to be a U.S. citizen and you must reside in United States. You can't have your parent become a U.S. citizen, go to India, get those $700 or $800 per month. You can't do that. But when it comes to the Social Security, this is more you contributed the money, though. So wherever you are, whether you are a U.S. citizen, whether you're a green card holder, whether you don't have any non-immigrant visa, you're staying in India. If you contributed for 10 years, though, and you have become the ripe age, whether it's 64 or 67, please check that thing as well. You will get the money, though. As you know, you guys have to closely watch the mail that you get every year from the Social Security, how much you will be eligible for. I mean, you'll be very surprised. Oh. So some of these non-immigrants will be eligible up to $1,500 per month. Though.
Wow.
And once they retire. So please go, and if not, you can go into and log in yourself, the Social Security Administration, see what you're eligible for and what is the contribution that you're getting. And Nitya Garu, normal people only see that in their paycheck only up to 7% of your money will be deducted for the Social Security. But when I became an employer in 1997, which I did not knew it, that the employer contributes the same amount to you for the Social Security.
Okay.
So he takes 7% off. Now the percentage is, maybe 1% here and there. Please don't blame me. Now the employer cuts 7% off from your paycheck, but he pays 14% to the Social Security.
Interesting.
So that money is yours now. That doesn't go to employer. So all that money will be accumulated, and it may be a good source for the income. So keep that in your mind, though. And if anybody is above 65, above 64, if they have contributed for 10 years, if they have not used it, they should use this, definitely.
Okay, makes sense. Thank you, Rahul Garu. Okay, on that note, we found a lot of very intricate details. I'm much happier today. So with the knowledge that, you can wait for your green card forever, but at least you can start cashing in on your Social Security at some point. But on that note, let's start taking in our callers. Let's take our first caller for the day, Andy. And we have our caller with phone number ending in 9707. We're ready for you. Already Garu is ready for you. 9707. Please press *6 to unmute your line. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Sir, me TV line mute cheskuntara, please.
Yeah. Hello, Andy.
Hello, sir.
I am on a EAD and my wife is primary, an H4. And if I already used my EB3 EAD, and because my H4 EAD is not renewed in time, I had to use that. And now if my EB2 date becomes current, can I just refile completely fresh one, so that I can go back Mexico or Canada and come back and do the fresh filing?
So you mean to say your H4 is now approved, is that right?
Yes.
You used okay. Yeah, you're right. If you have used an EAD, that means that you are married to the adjustment of status. If you want a divorce from the adjustment of status, at the same time not cancel the adjustment of status, if you have the H4 approval with the 797 approval, you go to Mexico, you have a margarita there, you come back, and then you will be considered to be an H4 visa. We have done that for several people like that. And
so
then
is
you
it
can...
same thing for all dependents?
It's
Even
same thing for...
Same thing?
Let's say for H4s and H1Bs, I can confirm it, but if it's F1, they need to check with the lawyer though, because there are some problems with those things. But H4s and H1s, it's the same thing. You're right.
Okay, even if the other dependents H4 also same thing.
That is right, sir.
So one more question, sir. Say, if I apply for change of status to F1 for my son, and after I did that, and if I use EAD, will my F1 will be approved, or if my son uses EAD?
Technically, they are not supposed to do it though, because you violated the non-immigrant status and you went into the adjustment of status. Technically, that F1 should not have been approved, but I would recommend, if that's a situation, though, I would want you to contact a lawyer. Okay?
Okay, then. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for calling, Andy. Let's take our next caller. And while we're waiting on the caller, Rahul, got a question for you. This is from Shabnam Sharma. It says, I-140 approved, 485 filed with employer A for future employment. EB2 and EB3 approved. Currently working with employer B on an H1B. Would there be any problems getting a green card with employer A? And what happens if I don't work with employer A after getting my GC?
She's working with employer B, and employer A has I-140 approval. And if she files a 485 with employer A on the promise that they have a job offer open, and she gets a green card, and if she doesn't go and join the company that filed for the green card, what will happen? The same thing will happen when you broke the promise for the new year promise that you made, that you're going to be running 5 miles a day, and which you didn't. I know that. Same thing will happen. Nothing will happen. Green card will be still alive. Green card will still be there. and you will not have any problem getting citizenship. They will not revoke your green card. You are in good position. That's fine. The entire premises for giving the green card is the job offer, not actual job. It's the job offer. The job offer existed at the time of filing the 485. The job offer existed at the time you got the green card. You didn't join. Well, you break the same promise like the New Year promise. No punishment for you.
Okay. Well, good news for you, Ms. Shabnam. Let's take our next caller, Andy. Caller with phone number ending in 2839. We're ready for you now. 2839, Andy. We're ready for you. Hello? *6, Andy, to unmute your line. Hello?
Hello, Nitya and Rahul Garu, are able to hear me?
Yes, sir, we can hear you. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hello, sir. Thanks a lot for helping the community. I have a quick question, sir. My priority date is June 2011 EB2, which was downgraded in the month of December 2021. I-140 was approved in the month of September, and on October 22nd, my file was transferred from Nebraska to NBC. And till now we don't have any update. It has been almost 4.5 months. It is just gathering dust in Nebraska. National Benefit Center.
National Benefit Center.
And one more thing is we use the EAD, sir. We are fed up with this H1B, so we used our EAD in the month of November. So both myself and my spouse, we are on GC EAD. So
how long have you been on the H1B? Yeah. How long have you been on the H1B?
Almost from 2005, sir. 2005 to 2021.
Wow. You got rid of it right now. Okay, makes sense. I got rid of it in 1.5 years. Keep going.
So we are fed up. So right now both of us are on, because we had some problem with that H4 EAD too, right, sir? Like they weren't up.
Yeah, I got it. It makes sense. Keep going. I got it.
Yeah. So for 4.5 months, it's in National Benefit Center. Everything, it's documentally qualified. Everything is in place. And regarding this interfile, like we're a bit confused regarding whether to interfile.
I will not interfile. I will not interfile for you. One reason is that your priority date is current in EB2 and EB3.
Yes.
And once that we interfiled in the last week of January to right now, we have not received a single receipt notice. We have not received a single approval. We have not received any communication from USCIS. Now, having said that, if your priority date would have been December 2012, though, I would have recommended to interfile. But right now, since your final action date is current in both, is right? It's current in EB2 and EB3. Yes. I will not, if I were your lawyer, I would recommend you not to do anything.
Okay, just wait and watch, that's it.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's not much. But keep coming to our conference call in the next, keep coming to a Tvasia in 2 to 3 weeks. If we see that these people are pulling all these interfiling thing and they are left and right approving those applications, though, we may change our opinion. Until you get the green card, we recommend keep coming to Tvasia, okay? It's worth for you guys.
Okay. So there is no need to do, thanks a lot, Rahul. And
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for calling. Let's take our next caller, Andy. Rahul, got a question for you. This is from Rajan Reddy, Andy. There's refiled derivative petitions accepted in Feb of 2021 are getting denied due to priority date not being current, related to 3A, 9A in PGE 3 and 4. Can I send
Page 3 and 4. Page 3 and 4, yeah.
Page 3
I know what those, page 3 and 4.
Okay, and can I send USCIS letter received in March of 2021 to recapture the filing date back to October of 2020?
We have noticed, and let me explain, Nitya, what the problem is here. What happened is that in October of 2020, as you know, that a lot of cases were being filed at that point of time. There are some lawyers who didn't know how to fill the forms out, and they filed these applications wrongly though. So these applications were being rejected and they were being refiled, and these applications got accepted though later on. Now, what happened is that in February of 2021, the prior date is not current, but they still accepted these applications. Okay. And in March of 2021, though, the USCIS said, look, we have rejected some of the cases for not so good reasons. Refile these applications, we're going to take them. Okay. That's what he's pointing out in March of 2021. Having said that, though, this particular denial, what he's speaking, we have noticed it only in the past 10 days. We have never noticed it before, though. I would want these cases to be approached very strongly, though. Now, if it's a small snake or a big snake, the only way to kill it is by hitting with a big stick, not with a small stick. Now, Telugu samat. Telugu kadandi meeku chinna paavaina pedda paavaina pedda katte tote kottali. So this denial is completely what happens is that the main applicant got the green card, the dependent green card is. If this applicant is maintaining the non-immigrant status, though, I would recommend, though, that to file an I-130 and 485 application as a spouse of the green card holder where the prior date is current. Number one step. Number two step is I want to file the motion to reconsider this opinion, this denial, what they did it. And then in that motion to reconsider, I would submit the letter what they have issued in March of 2011. I want both activities done. Now, even if the person is not maintaining the non-immigrant status, though, I would still file an I-130 and 485 application for this so that I can make a excuse, I can argue at that point of time or request a waiver for her not being illegally present. So I don't want only to file a motion to reconsider. I also want to file an I-130 and 485.
Okay. All right. Thank you, sir. Let us take our next caller. And a caller with phone number ending in 2531. We ready for you now?
Hello.
Hello, sir.
Yeah. Thank you for taking my call.
Sure.
Rahul, so I had two quick questions related to EAD. So I'm planning to switch employer based on pending AOS. I have EAD and AP and I-140 approved.
What is your priority date?
Yeah, my date is April 2014.
Is your underlying I-140 approved?
It's approved, yeah, and it's been more than 6 months.
Okay, keep going. It doesn't have to be. Okay, keep going.
Yeah,
it's
okay.
Approved, that's all.
Yeah, it is approved. So, like, it's a what would Rahul do kind of a question, please, just for my
Rahul already did it. Rahul actually did it. This is not. This is a different statement. Rahul already. When I was on EAD, I kicked my H4 out and started using the EAD. Otherwise, I wouldn't have become an immigration lawyer. I would have been an IT guy like you.
No, I've been following you, so I'm aware of that.
I did it. Believe me, I did it. When I got an EAD, though, I started using it immediately. In fact, I became an immigration lawyer on EAD. I went to the 485 interviews. One of my clients asked me, Rahul, when did you get the green card? I told him, no, I will tell you later on, though, because I didn't want to tell the person whom I am attending the green card interview that I don't have the green card. That guy will scare and get run away from there.
Oh,
so I said, I will speak with you after your green card is approved. So after the green card is approved, I told them, look, I didn't have a green card. He took me to a very nice restaurant. He said, Rahul, which restaurant do you want to go? Anything you just. I said, why didn't you take me to Red Lobster? He took me to Red Lobster, and then I told him in that time, buddy, I don't have a green card. I just have an EAD. So I did it. So what can I? No, it's not what Rahul would do. What Rahul did it actually. In this case, I did use the EAD. That's 2014. I already checked your I-140 is approved. So it's up to you. I mean, you want to feed the immigration lawyers? That's up to you. You don't have any kids who are teenage kids, right? Yeah, I guess he doesn't. He just looks very, very young. Yeah.
Yeah, seems like a very young person, but yeah. Oh, I think the call dropped off. But if you're listening, then yeah, it's worth it, buddy. You know. All right, let's take our next caller and question for you, Rahul Garu. This is from Surabhi Varmandi. It says, does SSN get delivered automatically after GC if applied with 765? Is any additional action needed by the applicant?
When the 765, as you know, Nitya, recently though, that they changed the version of the 765 form, that if you don't have a social security number, you can apply social security along with the 765 form. Yes, the EAD, the social security will be delivered though. However, I have to point out though, it's taking a little bit longer time than normal for the Social Security office to deliver the SSN card. It may be worth if you can make an appointment and visit the Social Security office to make sure that they have the thing in the system, if not applied there with your EAD.
Okay. Okay. Got it. Thank you, sir. Let's take our caller, Andy. Caller with phone number ending in 0873. 0873. We're ready for you now. Please press *6 Andy to unmute your line. Caller with phone number ending in 0873. Hello.
Hello. Thank you, ma'am, and Rahul Garu. Can
Hi,
you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, ma'am.
Hi.
Go ahead. Hi.
Okay. I just have a question. Would you advise to travel out of country, like if there is a need, to India while waiting for the green card after filing the interfile with supplement J in case if there is a need? Or do you recommend not to, because if they would be sending a RFE for medicals to be able to address that? I just want your suggestion. And thank you.
If your advance parole is approved?
Anandi.
Absolutely no problem for traveling, ma'am. The concept that interfile will interfere with the travel is no. Absolutely does not interfere. You can travel.
Oh, okay.
Your travel will not impact the interfiling.
The AP that was approved was under EB3 అండి. ఇప్పుడు ఇంటర్ఫైల్ చేస్తే మళ్ళీ EB2
AP is approved for the adjustment of status though. So when you interfile, you're just moving the same adjustment of status to EB2. You're not filing an entirely new application though. You're telling, interfiling, we're telling in the request, move my adjustment of status from EB3 to EB2. That is the only request you're telling though. So you have no problem, none whatsoever at all, even though your advance parole came on the adjustment of status file in October 2020 and you interfile somewhere in January or February of 2021, you have no problem in travel. You will still should be considered under EB2 when you travel. It should not cause any problem for you.
Okay, Andy. Thank you so much, Andy.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for calling, Andy. All right, folks, don't go anywhere. Stay right here. We'll be back after a quick commercial break.
Test Prep Pundits, a synonym for success, and a home to top 1% scores. Congratulations to Gutha Mandala for achieving SAT score 1570, Farah Khalil 1540, Kunal Varma 1510, and many more top 1% scores.
Join our 2 weeks of free SAT Premier Prep.
For high school grades 9 through 12, or middle school grades 7 through 8. Also win Visa gift cards. Contact us, info@testpreppundits.com, or call us, 844-383-7844. Visit us, www.testpreppundits.com.
Darling, daring, andala rasi, mallipuvu, lanti sukumari. Darling, darling, daring, andala rasi, mallipuvu, lanti.
On her big day, she decides how it's going to be.
Get ready to make way for the brides of India.
With Malabar Gold and Diamonds.
Are your kids aiming for top Ivy League colleges? Are your kids aiming for top 1% scores in SAT or ACT? What is the biggest hurdle? English. To have a strong foundation in English, Test Prep Pundits presents long-term SAT, ACT English program with robust curriculum and experienced teachers. For grades 6 through 10, just $80 a month. Contact us, info@testpreppundits.com or call us 844-383-7844.
తెలంగాణ అమెరికా తెలుగు సంఘం టీటీఏ ఆధ్వర్యంలో న్యూ జెర్సీలోని కన్వెన్షన్ అండ్ ఎక్స్పో సెంటర్లో మే 27, 28, 29, 2022 ఈ 3 రోజులు మెగా కన్వెన్షన్ నిర్వహించనున్నారు. ప్రముఖ వ్యాఖ్యాత సుమా కనకాలతో పాటు మరెందరో సినీ రాజకీయ ప్రముఖులు విచ్చేయనున్నారు. అంతేకాదు ప్రముఖ గాయని గాయకులతో ఎస్పీబీకి ఘన నివాళి, కప్రిసియో బ్యాండ్ మరియు వైవిధ్యభరితమైన ప్రత్యేక కార్యక్రమాలు ఆహుతులను అలరించనున్నాయి. ఆటలు పాటలతో సినీ తారలు, బుల్లితెర నటీనటులు, జానపద కళాకారులు అందరికీ ఇదే మా సాదర ఆహ్వానం. ఫర్ మోర్ డీటెయిల్స్ ప్లీజ్ విజిట్ www.tdaconvention.org.
ఆకర్షణీయమైన చీరలు, అప్పురపరిచే ధరలు, అందరికీ నచ్చిన, అందరూ మెచ్చిన షో మన లక్కీ మహిళ. బోలెడంత ఎక్సైట్మెంట్, వండర్ఫుల్ విన్నింగ్ మూమెంట్స్.
ఎగ్జాక్ట్ చెప్పారు. మీరే గెలుచుకున్నారండి. కంగ్రాచులేషన్స్. $220.
సెలబ్రిటీ హోస్టులు, అదిరిపోయే పంచులు, సరదా సరదా కబుర్లు.
ఆశ దోశ అప్పడం బడ హెల్ప్ మీరు ఆడుతున్నారు.
ఇలా మరెన్నో మెమరబుల్ మూమెంట్స్ తోటి ఫస్ట్ యానివర్సరీ జరుపుకుంటోంది మన లక్కీ మహిళ. Watch it live only on TV Asia Telugu.
Folks, welcome back to the Talk Show with Experts. Now let's continue with our callers and our questions, Andy. Let's take our next caller, and Rahul got a question for you in the meantime. This is from caller called USA Visa. Says, if we change project and that job is work from home, should we still file amendments? I guess he's talking about supplement J.
No, he's speaking about H1B amendments, though.
Oh, H1B.
H1B, we are forgetting we still are living in the adjustment of status world. If the location, the new location, that means that if, let's say, for example, your previous job with client A is in Dallas, and your home is still in Dallas. Just hold on for a minute, sir. If your home is in Dallas, and if the job is similar, though, even though the client has changed, the job is similar, you do not have to file the amendment. But if your client A project is in Houston, Texas, and client B, and you not client B is somewhere, but you're working from Dallas, though, which is not within the same MSA, you have to file an amendment. So it depends on the location of your first client, that is client A, and your home. If they both fall in one MSA, you don't need to file an amendment.
Thank you, sir. Let's take our caller, Andy. Caller with phone number ending in 5462. We're ready for you now. Please press *6 Andy to unmute your line. Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Hello, can you? Yeah. Thank you for taking my call.
Sure.
Hey, Rahul. Hi. This is Rashid. I have a question on my green card status. So I'm currently on L1A. I applied my green card this January. So it was a concurrent filing, EB1C. My wife's EAD, it expired in 2021. Now, I understand for L1 dependents, there is no real need for EAD to work. But however, they will have to have that updated I-94. But given that, we can't travel at the moment, is there any way that we can get that eligibility to work for my wife?
Did you already file an EAD for her or not?
Yes, we filed EAD as part of that the green card application.
What about for L2 EAD?
L2 EAD, she had it, I mean, we didn't file for it.
Yeah, she has to travel outside the country to get the eligibility of the EAD. Otherwise, she has to file an EAD extension right now. They may come up with some more smart methods later on, but right now they're telling us to travel.
How about this deferred inspection site, Rahul? Would that be possible, like, where we can amend our...
I know what you're speaking about. You can try it, though. You can try it. If they do it, it won't harm her under any circumstances.
So it won't harm my current GC application, right?
No, sir. If you go to deferred adjudication, it doesn't. If you go outside the country, you come back, it will harm the advance parole you already know. But if you go to deferred inspection and have the I-94 corrected with the EAD on that, though, then you're fine. I don't see any problem with that.
Okay. Thank you. I have one more question. So my visa is having the final expiration, or final exit date this September. But but obviously
you're speaking that the 7 years will expire in September.
Yes, this September. I might eke out probably a month or two, because I arrived in February 2016. So it might go until another February 2023. But if I don't get EAD by then,
by the time your L1 expires, if by that time your L1 expires, you don't get an EAD approval, you can stay in United States. Absolutely not a problem. But you cannot work, though.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So last question, Rahul. Sorry to bother you. So last question. So I'm sorry. So this one. So my as you know, my current GC has been lodged in January 2022. So if in 180 days, which is it would be probably in June this year, would I change my employer even if I didn't change? I mean, even if I didn't get my I-140 approved, and neither my
I would definitely not advise you to do so. There are provisions in the law that will allow you to do so, but it is going to be an uphill battle. The 485 might be denied. You may have to go to court, and you have to do a lot of different procedure. One thing is for sure, that if you plan to do there, I'm going to pay my advance to Ferrari car. Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much, Rahul. Have a nice day.
Budget kudirte nak kuda okate.
Sure. Because that's going to be very complex and very sensitive, and we'll have to we charge a lot of money, believe me, on those kind of cases. And you may ask Nitya Garu, why some cases where we charge more money, why some cases we charge less money? Is that when it's more complex, when there's a lot of where there is a denial chance is high, there's a lot of risk involved in it, we have to put our skin in there too, and that's the reason why we charge a lot more money. I mean, if it's just an EAD extension, I mean, what is going to be there? There is not going to be denial. There is going to be approved. So we only charge, just the FedEx and other charges. But if it's a complex issue where the 485 gets denied, we have to fight it out in the court. Obviously, we charge a lot of money, and that's when it's not advisable people to do those things unless they're absolutely in need of.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you, Rahul Garu. Let's take our next caller and also our next question. And this is from Rajesh R. Says, can we get back to H1B via automatic revalidation after entering USA using advance parole?
This question is coming very frequently. Now, what they meant is that they traveled to India. They didn't win for stamping. And now they are back in the United States on advance parole. Now they want to get back to H1B or H4 in some cases. And because remember that you invented, Nitya, that they got married to their adjustment of status. So now they want to get divorced from adjustment of status and want to go back to the H1B and H4. Absolutely, you can do that. If you have a valid 797 approval, and if you have the I-94 attached with that, and if you're still working with the same company that got the H1B approval, you can go to Mexico, you can have a margarita, and you come back, and you will be on H1B. We have done this several times, not a problem. I know these questions are coming very frequently. That didn't used to come before,
Yeah.
Because you invented the word marriage.
Yeah, and I'm wondering why I did that now, because people keep asking us for relationship advice now, you know.
Yeah. And this is the way to get divorced. Go to
H1s.
Mexico, have a margarita, come back. You're divorced.
All right. Let's take a caller, Andy. Caller with the phone number ending in 5904. We're ready for you now. Please press *6, Andy, to unmute your line. Hello.
Hello, Nitya Garu and Rahul Garu. Thank you for organizing this calls.
Sure thing.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. We can hear you. Please go ahead.
All right. So I have a situation and thought to get recommendation from Rahul Garu. So my priority date is March 2014 in EB2 with employer A, and I left that employer 3 years back. I'm currently with employer B, and my perm is filed like six months ago. So I kind of received an offer with employer C, and they're willing to start the GC process immediately after joining. But my EB2 priority date being in 2014 March, like there are a lot of people recommending to stick with current employer. But personally, considering my work stress, growth, I really wanted to go to employer C. So I wanted to check with you, your recommendation. What will be the risk?
Definitely, I agree with your friends on sticking with the company. Now, work stress, employment opportunities, I don't have a good knowledge about it, about what your personal structure and all those things is. Did the company B already file the green card application, or they did not?
Employer B, they have filed my perm 6 months back, so it may be approved anytime in next 1 or 2
So if you join company C, it may take 2 years for you to get to this stage where you are right now, or 1.5 years at least. Yeah. If I were you, I would not move to company C, but I don't know of the other circumstances. And if by any chance you still... Go ahead.
So is March 2014 EB2, are there like more chances for it to be current this year?
I'm not going to answer that question. I've gone wrong so many times, and I'm the evidence for it, and believe me, but I will just answer the question. If I were you, what would I do? I will not answer the question whether it's going to be current or not. You already know the answers. What I told did not work out to be correct. We didn't predict that the prior date is going to move to 1st January 2015 in October of 2020. I did not. I thought that will be 2013 or somewhere around that. So definitely, let me not predict, but I would not move to the new company. If by any chance you still, because nowadays I see the offers that are coming are like really tempting. All they're asking is show me the W-2, and they're just doubling the salary. IT is crazy, and I want to see. When I see that, hey, if you don't join, let me do one thing. I'll go join that company. Now, coming to the point that these tempting offers that you're getting, though, one thing, if you still want to go and join, nothing illegal, you know that, make sure that they start the green card process ASAP. Put that condition first.
Yeah, they're willing to start right away after joining.
Okay, I would still not do it, but I'm just telling you that if you do it, that's one condition that you need to. Okay, next person, please.
So what are the...
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. All right, let's take our next caller, Andy, and also our next question for you, Rahul Garu. This is from Piyush Gupta. Says, can we use the same labor certification on which EB3 I-140 was filed to file the EB2 I-140 as well, or do we have to file a new label for EB2 I-140?
It depends on the labor certification. If the labor certification prescribes that the position requires a master's degree, or the position, it's or not end at Nitya Garu, or the position require bachelor's plus 5 years of experience. If it requires any of these two things, though, you can use the same labor certification for EB2 and EB3, though. But if it says anything less requirement, like bachelor's plus 4 years experience, bachelor's plus 2 years experience, you cannot use that labor certification to file for the EB2. So in general, Nitya Garu, if the labor certification is used for EB2, absolutely you can use for EB3. There's no questions to be asked. But if it's EB3, we have to look into the determination what they have been, what they normally ask. In general, though, if the labor certification was being filed before 2019, okay, before 2019, I would say before 2020, and if they already got the EB3 approval, most probably it will not be eligible for filing the EB2. You will have to file the entire labor certification again. That's another reason why we always tell that you get the labor certification under EB2, you can always decide what you want to do at a later time.
Okay. That makes sense, Andy. All right. Thank you, Rahul Garu. Let's take a caller, Andy. Caller with phone number ending in 4203. 4203.
Hello, Rahul Garu. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, sir. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thanks for taking my call. So my question is regarding somebody who's filing for concurrent H1 who has their I-485 filed with company A, but 6 months have not passed. The goal is to work for company B full time, but company B offer was already given to me 4 or 5 months ago, and now they're saying at least work for 20 hours a week. So basically, if they file for concurrent H1B, and then after 6 months I stop working for company A, do they, so what happens to that concurrent H1B? So do they have to file a fresh H1B transfer again?
You're absolutely right. Concurrent H1B means you're going to be working for one main application, one main H1B application. On parallel, you're going to work with company B. If you stop working with company A, the concurrent H1B is not valid anymore. Company B then have to file a H1B.
So it's more, so if it's only, okay, so it's more, okay, so unless if they consciously want to spend that extra money doing that again, then that is their choice. But yeah, but otherwise they have to file a separate H1 transfer again.
It is not their choice. You cannot continue working with company B if you stop ceasing working for company A. It is not their choice.
Okay, sir. Yeah, makes sense. Yeah. Thank you so much for clarifying, sir. Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
So thank you for calling. Let's take our next caller, Andy, and question for you, Rahul Garu. This is from Rush 485. Says EAD renewal is still in process for more than 8 months. What are the options if it doesn't arrive before the 180 days grace period expiry? Online status shows case is sent for officer's review.
I just want to explain the question to other audiences is that he applied for the EAD extension. As people know, for the GC EAD extension, though, you can work up to 180 days after your EAD expires, up to 180 days after the EAD expires. Now, the question is, even after 180 days, the morons did not approve for EAD, which is a simple application. What to do? You can stay legally in United States, absolutely not a problem. You cannot work after the EAD expires. There is another exception if you want to file a H1B approval, and then you have to get the stamping because you don't have the margarita though. The reason you don't have the margarita is the H1B will not come with the I-94.
Oh.
So you have to go to India to get the stamping and have to come back. So if you want to prepare though, you can do one thing. I mean, you can file the H1B, you're eligible for Dropbox nowadays. So you have the H1B ready and make an appointment. If the EAD doesn't come through, you fly to India, you get the H1B stamping and come back.
Okay. All right, Andy, thank you so much. Let's take a caller with phone number ending in 6508. We're ready for you now. 6508.
Hello, can you hear me?
Hello, sir. Yes, we can hear you. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Thank you, Nitya Garu and Rahul Garu. So here is my case. My priority date is March 2013. I downgraded my application and I got my EAD and AP. So
did you get your I-140? Did you get your I-140?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And now my application has been transferred to National Benefit Center. So what does this mean, like moving to National Benefit Center? And my date is also current in EB2. Now, when I'm asking my company to that I want to interfile, so they said they have amended my application. So once the application is amended, EB2, I lose EB2. Now they are saying to interfile also you need to have both the applications valid. Is it true?
Yes, that is true though. I don't know why they did it. If they would have listened to our TV Asia, they would have done the amendment. Our audience looks to have much more knowledge than most of the immigration lawyers. I would say most, but some of the immigration lawyers.
So
yeah,
that means
unfortunately.
EB2 and EB3 should be both valid.
Right, your EB2 is not valid right now. If you can do one thing right now, you can file an I-140 under EB2. Hopefully this time, don't file as an amendment, file it as a new application, okay?
No, they are not ready for this new application. They are just reverting back saying that, they will not apply as a new, they will amend this time also. So I am not clear why they are doing that.
They just want to make money.
Yeah, like it's a small company and, working for these small companies is always a problem and they will never listen to what you say.
It's the other way around though. It's not true. I won't agree on the small company though. It's the big companies with bureaucratic offices that have these things. But anyway, coming to the point though, if they don't want to do they don't want to file a I-140 again, and they're giving only option of filing an amendment, don't take it though. Don't take it though. Because there may be I would not take that one amendment. If they are willing to file a new application, EB2, I would take it.
Because they are saying they need to show 2 payments, like
no sir. We told in TV Asia, tell them to become TV Asia audiences, those lawyers. Okay. And they will learn the things though. No, they don't need to show 1 person 2 ability to pay. Absolutely not needed. We have done several thousands of it. We have no problem. Not only the people that our office saw, other people have done it too. No problem reported yet. That you need to show the ability to pay for 2 people when you're only 1. Okay? So absolutely not required. But if they are going to file an amendment again, I don't know how that's going to interact with 485. You'll be risking your 485, so I will do nothing. Coming to your point of moving to National Benefit Center though, which service center was it pending before?
Texas.
Well, that's good. Well, Texas is a black hole anyway. We have noticed that a lot of applications in the past 10 days were being moved from Texas Service Center, in some cases Nebraska Service Center, to the National Benefit Center, which is definitely a good news. You have a better probability of getting approval once the final action date becomes correct. Okay.
So that means I'm documentarily ready or no?
We never believed in the word documentarily qualified though. Even though Charlie, before he retired, he threw that sentence and documentarily qualified. That is only applicable to the consular processing. It's not applicable in the 485. If that would have been a case that documentary qualified, most of the people would have been already documentary qualified before September 30th of 2020, but that did not happen. So we always said that don't trust the word, what Charlie said about documentary qualified. He may be right in the consular processing. When it comes to the USCIS, nothing like that exists.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Last question. Can I ask one more question, if you don't mind?
Go ahead.
Hello.
Go ahead, sir.
So I have my 140 EB2 applied from employer A also, but I left him, and still the 140 is still there. So can I join that employer and or just ask him to apply for EB2 interfile?
They can do either of those things. Either you can join them. Even if you don't join them, they can still file the 485J supplement that they have. If they have a job offer, they can file a 485J supplement. That is a good move. If you can.
And after getting
you said last. You said.
Okay, no problem. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for calling. Yeah, call us back next week for sure. We'll take some more questions. But in the meantime, let's give a turn to our next caller. And we have a question for you, Rahul Garu. This is from Nikhil. It says, Namaste, Rahul Garu. Online case status shows as on February 14th of 2022, we produced your advance parole document, but I still haven't received the card. What should be my next steps?
Give it a week's time more. We have noticed that when the card has been produced, we have noticed it's taking about 3 weeks to 4 weeks sometimes. So if you didn't receive in 4 weeks, definitely you contact the USCIS. But I wouldn't recommend to contact the USCIS right now because the approval comes from the USCIS. Then it goes to a different, not place, but a different system. And they have to produce the card. And sometimes there is a delays in the card production. 2 weeks is not that big of a deal for you. You should wait for at least 2 more weeks.
Okay. All right. And let's take a caller, and a caller with phone number ending in 5894. 5894, we're ready for you now.
Hello, can you hear me well?
Yes, sir, we can hear you. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you for taking my call, Anitya and Rahul garu. So my question is with respect to I-140 not approved in EB3. I have downgraded in October 2020. My EB2 I-140 approved, and I want to change the job now. So I applied for premium processing multiple times, though it is not approved yet. So I applied again last.
What is your priority date?
It's a 2014 November.
Do you want to pay for my Lamborghini?
So my question is there an option for me to change my job? I'm having good offers coming up these days. So let's say
believe me one thing though. If the I-140 is not approved and your priority date is 2014, even if the next offer is $500,000 more, I will not go. Even if it's $500,000 more and they are going to pay the taxes for me, I am not going there. It's not about paying a lawyer $25,000, $30,000. It's not about that. The tension that you go through, the buts and ifs that are involved in it. I know that you can afford the $20,000, $30,000. You'll get extra money from there and you'll throw it on a lawyer's face like me. Do Rahul, go work on this one. Yes, we will work for it. But it is definitely not worth the risk that you will be taking. The tension that you go through when your 485 gets denied, when it goes to the appeal, the tension you go through, it is not worth it.
Agree. Let's say if I-140 is approved, what are the chances?
Oh, if the I-140 is approved, then you're fine. You move next day. You don't have to wait 180 days. No matter who tells you that you have to wait 180 days, they are not telling the truth. You move the next day.
But I heard cases where like once I-140 approved, you don't have to wait for, I remember I heard multiple sessions earlier from you, since I-485 is pending more than 180 days and I-140 just approved, can I still change the job? Because
absolutely you can.
Employers can revoke.
Not from us. You can absolutely change your job. Don't have to wait for 180 days. That 180 days is for a different thing, has nothing to do with this one. You waited for 180 days, you get the I-140 approval, you jump the ship next day. You come to us, we'll take care of it. I won't charge you that much money. 485 supplement, we charge you a little bit money, not that much money. Now, you need to understand when you're paying higher money to the lawyer, it doesn't mean that you're getting a better service. People like, when you it's a murder case, the lawyers charge a lot more money. That means that you did something blunder. If it's just a contracts violation, you pay a little bit money to the lawyer. So it's like that. So you come to us after 1 day it's been approved, we'll take care of you. You don't have to pay for my Lamborghini though. You'll pay my, my Toyota Camry's installment. Okay.
If you're feeling very generous, I can do the 6 months salary, 180 days.
So one last question though. So let's say after my I-140 is approved, if I change my job, if they're filing, do I have to file a new I-140, new perm again, or I can just
No, sir. You don't have to file new perm again, new 140 again. You may have to do the 485J supplement, which we strongly recommend, but you do not have to file an I-140. You do not have to file a perm labor certification. Absolutely not required. Next person.
Okay. Because yeah, thank you.
That's good.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. All right, let's take our next caller, Andy. And Rahul, got a question for you. This is from Nikita. Says, I applied for H4 to F1 conversion in October of 2020 and aged out in June of 2021, got an RFE, and they're asking me for residency abroad. I've been here for over 10 years. How do I respond to the RFE?
Nikita, the question is not where you're residing, whether you have a home back in India. So I'm assuming that you are at the age anywhere between 19 and 21 years old, or 22 years old at the most. So your parents will have a home, most probably. That is what they are asking. Where is the residence there that you have? Once you complete the education, where will you moving? So that's what they're asking about the residence. So if there is any property documents that your dad or mom has it, or even your grandfather has it, I would provide all those documents saying that this will be the home that I'll be going after completing the education.
Okay, got it. Thank you, sir. Let's take our next caller. Caller with phone number ending in 0209, Andy. We ready for you?
Hello, ma'am.
Hello, sir.
Hi.
Hi,
Rahul Garu. Thanks for your help. Sir, I went for the downgrade in 2020 from EB2 to EB3. And I-140 is approved 2011 August. 2011 August. So as of now, it is in a Texas service center, no movement. So my I-140, when I seeing that one, in one of the things is a box notice type is approval notice, and consulate it is showing as NVC. So is it any? I checked with my lawyer. They said you can ignore because we filed in adjustment of status in a successor of interest. So you can ignore. But I was thinking maybe because of the person they were not considering my application to adjudicate that one. Why it was showing consulate NVC?
First of all, Texas Service Center is a black hole, and there is nothing you can do about it. I completely agree with your lawyer to completely ignore the NVC, the National Visa Center. You can completely ignore. If you have filed the adjustment of status, even though the NVC it's been sent to NVC, completely ignore it. It will not harm you in whatever circumstances you're speaking about. Okay?
Okay. Yeah. And another one is regarding AP. I have received a EAD and AP. It is in August. September I received last year. So I'm planning to go India, and I was looking in a couple of articles. They are saying they are getting I-94 for only 1 year validity, but my EAD and AP is valid for 2 years. So if I get a 1 year I-94 validity, so how do I do? We need to extend that one, or how it works? Because I have a
very good question. So what you're telling is that since when you come into the country and an advance parole, they give only for 1 year. Do you need to extend that I-94, or can you ignore that I-94? And that's a very, very valid and very good question. Most of the people, if not all the people who come on advance parole, they will only give a 1 year I-94. But let me tell you one thing. You can completely ignore the date. It will not affect. After 1 year, your I-94 of advance parole has expired. Only I'm speaking about advance parole, not H1, not H4, not F1. I'm only speaking about the advance parole people who are entering into United States. Even though it's expired, you are perfectly in legal status. You do not have to do anything, sir.
Oh, okay. That's good thing. Okay, thank you, sir. And final one question, sir. Final. My previous employer, right now, successor of interest EB2 is not valid for me. So if I want to do it, if I want to move to the another employer, and do we need to start from the perm from starting onwards, or can I do the EB2 my adjustment of status 485J?
485J is good enough. You don't have to perm. You don't have to file an I-140 and perm. I don't know why this question is repeatedly coming, guys. Here's a question. If you file the 485 application, if you have the I-140 approval, you just need to file a 485J supplement. Absolutely not required to file a perm or I-140.
Under same category or EB2, can I use the EB2?
No, you will be stuck under EB3. You will be stuck under EB3 category because it is a successor of interest, though. They have filed as an amendment, though. They have to file as an amendment. It's absolutely required to file as an amendment. So they filed as an amendment, and they got the I-140 approval. You're stuck with it. So if you were to have a EB2 approval though, then either the current company have to file I-140 again, or the new company has to file a permanent I-140. But since your priority date is August 2011, if I were you, I would not do anything. Okay?
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
You can move out of the company with 485J and not do anything.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for calling, Andy. All right, folks, it's that time of the day. I know a lot of you are waiting on the phone lines as well as our live chat. So, but unfortunately, we are all out of time today. I know this is a very interesting topic and there's so many questions. But Rahul Garu, thank you as always, Andy, for being on the show and for addressing so many concerns with so much patience.
Thank you very much.
And to all our viewers, stay tuned. We'll be back same time, same place next week to answer more questions along with the Dhamakedar topic for you all to chew on. Okay. Until then, rest up easy and enjoy the rest of your week. Okay. Thanks and have a great week.
Test Prep Pundits, a synonym for success, and a home to top 1% scores. Congratulations to Gautam Mandala for achieving SAT score 1570, Farah Khalil 1540, Kunal Varma 1510, and many more top 1% scores.
Join our 2 weeks of free SAT Premier Prep.
For high school grades 9 through 12, or middle school grades 7 through 8. Also win Visa gift cards. Contact us, info@testpreppundits.com, or call us 844-383-7844. Visit us, www.testpreppundits.com.
Darling, daring, andala rasi, malippuvu, lanti sukumari. Darling, darling, daring, andala rasi, malippuvu, lanti.
On her big day, she decides how it's going to be.
Get ready to make way for the brides of India.
With Malabar Gold and Diamonds.
Are your kids aiming for top Ivy League colleges? Are your kids aiming for top 1% scores in SAT or ACT? What is the biggest hurdle? English. To have a strong foundation in English, Test Prep Pundits presents long-term SAT, ACT English program with robust curriculum and experienced teachers. For grades 6 through 10, just $80 a month. Contact us, info@testpreppundits.com, or call us, 844-383-7844.
తెలంగాణ అమెరికా తెలుగు సంఘం టీటీఏ ఆధ్వర్యంలో న్యూ జెర్సీలోని కన్వెన్షన్ అండ్ ఎక్స్పో సెంటర్ లో మే 27, 28, 29, 2022 ఈ 3 రోజులు మెగా కన్వెన్షన్ నిర్వహించనున్నారు. ప్రముఖ వ్యాఖ్యాత సుమా కనకాలతో పాటు మరెందరో సినీ రాజకీయ ప్రముఖులు విచ్చేయనున్నారు. అంతేకాదు ప్రముఖ గాయని గాయకులతో ఎస్పీబీకి ఘన నివాళి, కప్రిసియో బ్యాండ్ మరియు వైవిధ్యభరితమైన ప్రత్యేక కార్యక్రమాలు ఆహుతులను అలరించనున్నాయి. ఆటలు పాటలతో సినీ తారలు, బుల్లితెర నటీనటులు, జానపద కళాకారులు అందరికీ ఇదే మా సాదర ఆహ్వానం. ఫర్ మోర్ డీటెయిల్స్ ప్లీజ్ విజిట్ www.tdaconvention.org.
ఆకర్షణీయమైన చీరలు